Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience. Aaron, David, Patrick.
And the other Aaron. So there's two Aarons, a David and Patrick.
Oh, Aaron and David and Patrick. AADP.
A squared DP.
It's almost like AARP. On the Zoom call, I'm a little out of element, guys. My board decided it didn't want to wake up this morning. So a golfer's clap all the way from Oklahoma. We've got Aaron Michael's Zoom call today. How you doing, Aaron?
Oh, I'm great, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we were looking to interview you last week, but you were on your way to a gig and times didn't jive. So here we are.
I was going to be on the road, and so I just didn't want to stand you guys up, and I ended up doing it anyway.
You know
anyway,
what?
I'm glad we're here today.
I'd rather take the time and, really get to talk to you about things. But, you're from Oklahoma. There's a large presence of Christian rock going on. It's just the scene's kind of exploding out there, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. There's a lot of groups out here. Pillar is originally, from Oklahoma. A lot of the guys are from Oklahoma, right down the road from me. And Chaotic Resemblance is from here. 13 Minutes is from here. That's just to name a few. I'm sure there's more, but that's some of the main ones that are from around here. So,
yeah, I just find it really interesting. It's like Oklahoma is the Hollywood of the hair bands. You know what I mean?
For sure. Absolutely.
Now, I'm reading your bio, and it sounds in your bio like one day you just decided you wanted to do music, and like a month later you're signed to a contract and you're putting out, and then you're making you're getting these Tulsa Music Awards.
Didn't that really happen that quick? Didn't happen that quick, but it happened. It happened in God's speed. I'll just put it that way. And we started this in 2019. Put the band together, and I think in 5 months we recorded the CD and finished that up. And it was 2020. Yeah, we won 3 Tulsa Music Awards. We won one for Single of the Year for Taking My Time. We won one for New Artist of the Year, and then we won one for Christian Artist of the Year. So we were the first band to ever win 3 awards that we were nominated for. We won all 3 of them, so it's pretty cool.
You're a triple threat.
Yeah, well, the people that have won Christian artists had won it 3 or 4 years in a row. And so and it's funny because I know them. They're actually a bluegrass band from Muskogee, from Oklahoma, where I'm from. And one of the members in the band was my woodshop teacher in high school. So I kind of had to give him some heck about that, that I beat him out. But, I have some great fans and, some great people around me, and they always vote for me for whatever we're doing, and always, requesting my song. So
after Aaron won the competition, he looked at his woodshop teacher and said, "How do you like that birdhouse?"
That's right.
Oh, well.
So anyway, yeah, man, it's been a ride. And, ever since then, our first show, we opened up for Seventh Time Down and We Are Vessel. And that's the first time I met Randall, was at that concert, and we started that relationship there. And then after that, we opened up for We Are Messengers, 7 Day Slumber. I'm just trying to think, man. In Texas, we opened up for Spoken and Relent. And We Are Vessel was at that one too. But like I said, we've done shows with Disciple, and we did shows with 3 Days Under in Missouri. That's where me and Patrick met. And I think Bread for War was at that one, I believe. And Chaotic Resemblance was there. So God's just kind of taking me wherever he wants to, and I'm just along for the ride. So it's been good.
That was the venue where they rented out the Coliseum and it was empty, right?
Yeah, I think there was like 5 people there.
Yeah. Good times we had.
Well, it looks like
hey,
God's driving a Ferrari and you're in the passenger seat the way things are quickly moving along for you.
Oh, for sure, man. Like I said, I'm just trying to be faithful. And I think that's what we all try to do, is be faithful to our calling. And, that's just what I'm doing, and me and Randall wrote the song that's out right now called Trust. And, it's just a great song. I think it's got a great message to it, and people are responding to it. It's been #1 on, several radio charts, and it's hanging in #1 right now on christianrock.net. But like I said, I want to release another one, but I'm like, man, this one's still doing good. So I think I'm going to wait till about, I think January, we're going to release a new one that I wrote with Jason Roy from Building 429. Went on tour with them this summer and did a lot of stuff with them and ended up writing a song, and it's called Faith Over Fear. And I'll wait and let you hear it later, but it's going to be a great one. It's going to be really good. And basically just talks about, in these crazy times we're in right now. I wrote it kind of after COVID happened and, churches started shutting down and everything started shutting down. I was just thinking, me and my family, we're just going to live in faith and not live in fear. And so I wrote the song about it, and that's kind of what it's about. So it's going to be good. We're shooting a video tomorrow. It's going to be good stuff.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, we're actually going to do it tomorrow. And I'll give you a little insight on the video. It's going to be in a big field. We're going to make a huge bonfire. And it's going to be like 20 feet tall, probably. It's going to be huge. And we're going to set up right in front of it. And it's going to be cool. So.
Oh, cool.
That's great.
Right. Well, I was listening to Trust this morning, and this absolutely is a compliment. Please take it that way. But what popped into my head was the Breakfast Club when Judd Nelson throws his fist in the air, because I don't know, that's the way it made me feel. The self was kind of like this anthem.
Right. Well, it kind of become that, and you brought up earlier hair bands, from Oklahoma. Well, I love that stuff, man. I love rock anthems. I love songs with a purpose. And, songs like, any 80s song that you can remember, like Living on a Prayer, for instance, everybody knows that song, right? And so I want to create music, especially a chorus or a hook that people are going to remember. And, this new song, Faith Over Fear, it's kind of the same way. It's an anthem is what it is. And so that's why I try to do is write songs people are going to remember, so and can relate to also.
Hey, Aaron Sound, can we just in right now? Can we go do that?
Yes, we're going to do Trust right now.
All right. It's Trust with Aaron Michaels on the Rock Solid MUZKAST. Rock Solid MUZKAST. Patrick and Aaron.
It's A squared. A squared DP.
It hasn't been as much train wreck as I had expected it to be with two people named Aaron on here.
No, it's just a train wreck with your setup.
No, that's true. No lying there, brother. Aaron, you're out in Oklahoma today. Is that correct?
I am. Out in the windy plains of Oklahoma.
The windy plains? You're not getting a tornado, are you?
Well, we actually were in a tornado warning last night. So we moved our football game from Friday night to Thursday night because Friday was supposed to be tornadic weather. So it ended up not being too bad. We were still in the warning, but ended up not being too bad. So
I'm so glad we don't have those issues in Kentucky. The biggest threat that we have in Kentucky is people in spandex that don't belong in them. But there's no warning siren for those. And they're just about to move. You're like, whoa.
Just don't go to Walmart.
That's exactly where you run into them. It's like a bunch of people walking around looking like pop cans of Pillsbury biscuits. It's terrible.
I hear football's big in Oklahoma. Is that true?
It is, man. Yeah. My day job is I'm a coach and a teacher. And I'm a PE teacher and a health teacher. And I coach football and baseball. And they taught me into doing some girls basketball this year. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm at Muskogee High, and we actually went into this last game 9-0.
Wow.
Against Stillwater, which, if you're familiar with Oklahoma at all, like Oklahoma and OSU, well, OSU is located in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Yes.
And Mike Gundy's son is the quarterback at that high school. So they were also 9-0. So they came to our place, both teams 9-0 for the district title. And it was a great game. And, our kids, we have 4 seniors. Our quarterback's a sophomore. So we're a pretty young team. But we ended up losing. It was 38-21. But we put up a good fight. And I really think we'll see him again in the state finals. But yeah, football is huge here. Friday, I think it was Thursday night, actually, excuse me, on ESPN2, Bixby and Jinx was the game on ESPN2. And,
I've heard of Jinx before, and I've heard of Broken Arrow before in
right,
Oklahoma.
Yeah, well, those 2 schools are about 30 minutes down the road from me.
Okay.
And so, yeah, but yeah, football is so big here. We just got done building a $30 million facility. It's a new football stadium and field house, and it's got a basketball court in it and everything. But anyway, yeah, it's huge here. But Bixby actually, they had the longest winning streak in history in like high school football. And I think it was 50-something games straight that they haven't lost. And Jinx beat them Friday night or Thursday night.
Wow.
So, yeah. So that was pretty huge.
So I got a question, Aaron. Like, Oklahoma's pretty flat. So when like the old people and like your grandparents are telling stories of back in the olden days, they didn't have to walk uphill both ways to school. It was just, we walked to school.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's a wives' tale. That's not true. But I will say there are more hills here in Oklahoma than I've got on my way last year, I went to, where did we go? Oh, man. It was South Dakota. South Dakota is where it was. And so we had to go through like Iowa and Nebraska or somewhere and all these other states on the way to like North Dakota. And that is some of the flattest, boringest land and travel that I've ever been on. I was like, man, I thought Oklahoma was bad, but that was bad. I don't know if you've ever been through there.
Brother, because my brother lives up in South Dakota, and growing up in Northern California, a little, I find it really odd when people say they've never seen a mountain before or they've never been to the ocean before.
Right.
I made that drive from California to South Dakota. And once you get east of the Rockies, man, there's a nothing.
A lot of nothing right there.
A whole lot of nothing, man.
Yeah.
And it's just flat and fields for days.
Yeah. Well, I just thought it was funny because everybody like makes fun of Oklahoma, like, hey, y'all live in a teepee and, stuff like that, But it's like, man,
well,
I think we're doing good compared to some of these other places. There's nothing but
right.
flat, land and like just farming land, corn everywhere.
If I lived in Oklahoma, I would just pray for the day this whole Tiger King thing blows over.
See, that's the things we're known for, though. That's
right?
The things we're known for.
I don't know if that's what you want to be known for, though.
I really don't feel so bad being in Kentucky now. Thanks, Aaron.
No problem. Glad I can make you feel better.
California is known for a lot of things too that others don't want to be known for. So I'm not.
Yeah, you guys have hammer parties in your underwear out there, don't you?
Oh,
that is a uniquely California event. Okay, and I don't expect you to understand being from Kentucky.
Nope, we swing hammers with pants on here.
At least it's with your pants on.
Well, this California weather's been really warm and dry lately.
Yeah.
Here in Oklahoma yesterday and Thursday, I think it was 77. So it hasn't been bad here.
It's 79 here right now.
Wow, man.
It's kind of chilly here today. It's jacket weather.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of California.
That's exciting.
Speaking of California, I think Striper is playing at the Whiskey Go-Go tonight.
They did one night last night. My friend was there, posted a couple of videos, and
awesome.
Had a second night because they sold out, which is fantastic.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Whiskey is not a huge place, but it's for a rather large club, and to sell it out 2 nights in a row, that's a pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Striper was my first concert.
Oh, no way.
Wow.
Right, it was Striper and White Lion.
Wow. Oh, with White Lion?
Yeah.
What a great show. What'd you see that, 1989?
I think it was 87, maybe 88, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something like
what
that.
Has been your most favorite concert, Aaron, that you've ever attended? If you had to throw them all away for that one concert experience, which one and who was it?
Well, there's this band called 3 Days Under.
See, I knew you were going to go there.
Blew my socks off.
I knew you were going to go there, and I about prefaced it. Now, don't give me no fluff. But I was like, do I really have to go down that road? No, not with Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, I think we've been played. These two have set this up long in advance.
Yes. Hey, Patrick, what's the best band you have ever seen live in concert?
We were playing this one show in Arkansas, and there was this band called the Aaron Michaels Band. And, I mean, that's all she wrote.
Man.
I've heard the name, but I haven't heard their stuff. So we're just playing. Hey, I want to get back to the music though, because you got a definite. The best way I could describe you to somebody that's never before is if you like Crowder, you're going to like Aaron Michaels. That be fair to say?
I mean, I don't know. I've never heard that, but I've heard a lot of other things, but I've never heard Crowder. But I definitely like Crowder's music. I have a lot of different influences from, like I said, Striper and, Poison and, Bon Jovi to that area, all the way back to Third Day. I'm a huge Third Day fan, and, Chris Tomlin, but also, I dig Disciple and Skillet and, all those other bands. I grew up listening, Pillar and, 1,000 Foot Crutch, all those bands. So, I mean, I have a lot of different influences and really, the reason I went with Broadhead is because I told them, not very many labels will let you be you per se. And depending on the song, it might come out a little bit different. You're not going to get the same sound out of me on every single song just because that's just not who I am, So you might hear Trust, and then you might hear like even Comfort and Strength, I think, are like 2 totally different kind of sounds, And like here lately, we've been recording some heavier stuff. And so musically, it's going to sound, and I compare it to this, but like kind of like a White Zombie type sound. Like musically anyway. It's interesting. So you'll have to wait on that one. It'll be probably 2 more singles after this next one. But
all right, I'm looking forward to that.
But yeah, we're starting to write some heavier stuff. So yeah.
I dig that. I did like, you got I can't think of specifically which song, but you definitely got a kind of a rock, bluegrass, blues type of feel, which I assume comes from your upbringing in Oklahoma.
Right.
You're definitely harder than Crowder. I will say that.
Right.
You connected with Broadhead Music, and forgive me, I've forgotten Mr. Broadhead's, but
Randall.
You started, Randall, thank you. You started collaborating with him, and he started writing songs with you, or songs, or personally, or how did that?
Well, this is kind of what happened. I just kind of told him, I was kind of in a rut, when I was writing music, and it kind of was sounding the same, I guess. And I told him I wanted to be challenged in that area, maybe a little more modern. I wanted to make my sound a little more modern. And so that's kind of, he hooked me up with him, and he hooked me up with Jason Roy with Building 429. And I wrote a praise and worship song. It's a really great song, but it's called God of Miracles, with Joel Vaughn. I don't know if y'all have heard of Joel Vaughn, but he's a great musician, great songwriter. He's got a song out right now called Friend. And if you haven't heard it, man, you need to go check it out. It's Joel Vaughn, Friend. But it gives me chills every time I hear it. But I had the honor of writing a song with him. And I can't wait for that one to come out, because it's a little something different. Like I said, it's more CCM, more kind of, poppy a little bit, I guess. But I wrote it for my wife, and she has lupus and fibromyalgia. And so we just believe that, God's a God of miracles, and she's going to be healed, and in Jesus' name. And so, and if it doesn't happen while we're on this earth, she's going to be healed when she gets to heaven. And we believe that. And so anyway, just a lot of exciting stuff going on.
Well, do you feel that all this now new outside influence coming in, and a couple of tricks in songwriting that you didn't know before, do you feel like it really has challenged you? Do you feel like the music has grown, or does it feel like it's just on a steady climb?
No, I definitely think it's grown and it's changing. But I think that's good. I think artists need to do that. I think in anything you do, you need to challenge yourself and push yourself, and to get better in whatever you're doing. And I really feel like Trust, is a great song, a great start to that. And I think a lot of it comes, and Patrick can probably agree with me on this, but I think a lot of it comes in production, as far as, the recording goes, the production side of it. And, guys like him and people that do this for a living, and, they just know all the tricks. They know how to make it sound better. They know how to make it sound fuller. And that's just something that, I couldn't do on my own. So I do appreciate him taking me on and helping me in that area. So
do you look back on maybe, I know you've been doing this team, but do you ever look back on some of maybe your older stuff, maybe some of the stuff you even wrote before 2018? And what was it?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of stuff that, there's a long story behind this whole ministry, but the whole first album with Taking My Time, Comfort, Strength, all those songs, I Stand Amazed, those songs were actually written a long time ago, probably 15 years ago. And we just kind of redid them. And but they, when God told me to do this, he said, you got all these songs just sitting on the shelf collecting dust. When are you going to do something with them? So anyway, that's kind of how, this project came around. And I do have, I have so many songs. Pratchett probably can, like I said, verify, as songwriters, we write songs all the time, and you'll never hear them all. But, I definitely think there's some songs that I've written that we can redo and, make them better, just make them more modern. And because lyrics are lyrics, they're still going to affect people. They're still going to reach people. But it's finding a creative way to do that. And so that's what we're trying to do right now. And I actually have a little side project going that I can't really tell anybody about yet. But
well, tell us off the air.
You literally just told us about it. So now,
But yeah, it's going to be reaching back to some of my old stuff and rocking it out. It's heavier.
Nice.
So that's all I'm going to say right now, but it's going to be good. It's going to be real good.
All right. I'll be waiting for that. Hey, to take this back old Pulp Fiction style here, I wanted to talk about your testimony, because you came out of some depression and that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, growing up, I grew up in church, and we were there every time the doors were open. Sundays, Wednesdays, it didn't matter. And as I got into high school, started I guess trying to find out who I was or whatever. Started getting in bands and doing other things, and ended up getting in a band called Stone Lily. And this was back in the late 90s, probably, something like that. And trying to age myself there. But we got the opportunity to tour with Seven Dust and some other bands that were, pretty high profile. And that's when Seven Dust was just starting out. Had their first album out. And we opened up for them at a club in Fort Smith, Arkansas. And anyway, LeJean and the guys, they're a great group of guys, and still are. But we were playing the clubs, we were playing bars, and definitely weren't a Christian band. And got caught up in the partying and the drugs and just the whole rock and roll lifestyle, I guess. And so we did that for, probably 6 or 7 years, I guess, something like that, into the early, 2000s, I guess. And I got to a point where I almost died, honestly. I was up for, they said about 3 or 4 days on cocaine. And I was playing a show, and we were playing a club that had 2 levels on it. And I was actually up on the top ledge of this second floor. And they said that I just passed out. I had my arms open wide, and I just passed out. And they caught me. And I don't really remember any of it, but they said I was asleep for about 2 days. And right then and there, I needed to make a change. It was wrong. And, from there, I went home and I quit that band and made a lot of people upset. But I did what I felt like I need to do to, I guess, find myself again and clean myself up. And I prayed when I came home that would never happen again, and that I need to clean. And, that was, about 20 years ago. So that was the start of this journey. And, for a long time, I don't know if all artists go through this not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough, and not feeling like you've accomplished enough as an artist. And so that was a lot of my depression. Until I realized Jesus Christ. And so nobody else matters. And so until I figured that out, I fought a lot of depression, back in those days. But anyway, we got through that, and God got me through that. And so now, that's my testimony to share with others that, you don't have anything to prove to anybody except for Jesus, and he loves you where you're at, no matter where you are in your walk, because we're all in a different walk. And so that's why a lot of my focus is on, people that are drug addicts or alcoholics or, whatever addiction they have. I do a lot of things with Celebrate Recovery. I do a lot of things with homeless shelters here in town. That's just where my heart is. And so I just think, for those people that have addiction issues and things like that, the problem that they have is a lot of people have turned away from them. They don't have anybody to turn to. They don't have anybody to talk to. So if I can be that person, even if it's just for 5 minutes or we can build a relationship up. I'm a friend with a guy now, and he was actually homeless and had a problem with, drinking, alcoholism. And we become friends, and now he's living in an apartment. He's got his life going, and he's doing really good. And, he's backslidden a couple of times. But that happens. That kind of thing happens. But if you have a sponsor and you have somebody you can talk to, it sure helps, to get those people through. So that's a lot of my, focus and what I like to do. So I can talk forever. I talk too much. So
I'll stop. Good.
I take that as a challenge.
For sure.
Well, Aaron, where can people find you on socials and on the web?
Yeah, you can go to my Facebook page, Aaron Michaels. You can go to www.aaronmichaelsofficial.com. That's our website. You can find us on Instagram, just Aaron Michaels Official. And then you can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, any of that stuff. Like Trust right now, you can only get through Spotify. You can actually download it on our website. But all the other music you can order online. You can order the CD if you want a CD and things like that. But the website also has a merch store if you want some merch. I'm still putting some of the new merch up, but has all the old merch and some of the new merch on there. So, but yeah, that's about all.
And if you want to support a band, any band, merch is where
go buy their merch
and buy t-shirts because it really helps the bands out.
Right.
So, Aaron, I thank you for your time today. I appreciate you coming on.
Well, hey, I got one question. So, Tennessee and Georgia are fixing to play. Who you got?
They're playing now.
Yeah, they're playing right now.
I'm rooting for the Volunteers, but I think the Bulldogs will pull it out today.
Okay.
I'm not gonna cast. I hate both teams equally. So I hope like one of those Oklahoma tornadoes just touches down right there right now. No injuries, but just in the game.
In the game, huh?
Oh, that's bad.
Who do you got, Aaron?
Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't really care who wins, honestly. But Josh Heupel being an OU guy, and I did some football camps with him a few years back in the summers, So he's a good guy. So I'm going to have to go for the Volunteers today.
Okay. That sounds good.
I'm going to volunteer them to lose. So
That's awesome.
they straight beat up the Wildcats last week, and it's like, ugh.
So you have a grudge now, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I build grudges. I have nothing else to do with my time, Aaron. We're not playing any more shows this year, so I mean, I just have grudge building seminars.
Well, guys, I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for spending some time with us. Broadhead Music recording artist, Aaron Michaels. Thank you. Appreciate it. Rock Salt MUZKAST Experience. Aaron, Dave, and Eck with more.